coal mining methods to this lecture number 3 on 11th January 2022 in this typical Omicron COVID-19 2021-22 periods. Let me know before starting the class whether my screen is visible to you, then we will start. Let me know whether this screen is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now itself, just let me do this. There is one small, because I opened few files before starting class. I wanted to take you inside the mines. Now till others also join. This is one of the underground mines, my beloved students. You can see in COVID-19 period how people are going with mask. Are you able to see this? Right? This is underground mine, one Vakilapalli in Singareni called these mines. Right? And this
Yes.
is the entrance of the incline. And while going inside, Acha, have you seen this type of photographs before? Let me know before that. Yes, no?
No, sir.
No,
Oh,
sir.
then
No, sir.
I'm taking you
Yes, sir.
inside the mine. Then later we will start, we will continue our discussion on the syllabus. So this is the entrance of the incline at Vakilapalli VKP mine. And for some investigations, I sent one of our MTech scholars, and you may also go to different mines based on your interest to learn more from learning based education. And now inside the mine, how it appears, you see when it is a thick seam, right? And where it is developed in different sections, how it appears. This is the top section with the sandstone roof, and another bottom section also, depending on that we can develop. And then now you can see a close view, right, of the section and which was developed. And then at different places inside, how it appears. Of course, this is the mine where one of the investigations we carried out. And this is whatever LSDs, DLs they were using. It is a semi-mechanized mine. And in fact, I told our MTech scholar to conduct some investigation study on what is the width of these workings at that time. And these are some of that photographs, how they are measuring. Now you can see. So this is around 4 meter. Are you able to see this clearly? 4 meter, 0.1, 4.1 or whatever the width of the gallery. That's since we are talking about development workings. First, I wanted you people to go inside the mine and see how development workings look like. Right. Now this is around 4 point. What is the width of this working? This is about 4.1 meter. And some more photographs you can see. The width is at this place only 3.9 meters. So although that workings were supposed to have around 4.2 meter, because they are also supposed to take permission from DGMS for all these workings, all those things I will be explaining to you. It is something like a reverse engineering. First I am taking you to the mine, inside the mine, and now you feel that you are there inside the mine, and then we will start discussing about underground coal mining in our class 3. So our field is our lab, my beloved students, of underground coal mining. So I am taking you inside the mine. You feel that you are there with them. This is 3.9 meters width of the gallery and 3.9 meters some close view. You can see how that mines appear. You are taking care of your own light, right, inside. Now you can see at 40 deep of 62 level, there was a fault of about 2 meters, whatever it is, right? And then how these workings look like. And you are seeing some type of a W straps with roof bolts and how the sides roof, how it appears. Now you feel you are there at that place. Now sometime if you put off your light, it appears like this, right? So don't put off the light. And now you are seeing some more workings. Now you see in the immediate roof, this is a sandstone some parts maybe some type of a scaling. We can also call it as a SCALING, scaling of the roof. Some part of the roof because of some weathering or excess blasting. So many reasons may be there. So that sandstone part was damaged or it has fallen. And this is a way how I told them to write down on a slate what is a width and other things, so that you people also can learn what exactly at what place, what is the width of the gallery, so that this development workings, how it looks like. Now this is at 40 deep of 62 level, right? Then what is the position of that or the status of that workings? Now you can see here. Here the width is 4.3 meter. Now nobody can cheat us or nobody can misguide us, because it is being measured with the tape and it is very clear. 4.3 meter is the width of the workings at 40 deep of 63 level. That's what I wanted to show you. You see, if your light is not proper, that looks like this, and even if it is not, still then this may look like this, right? So if these are the workings, development workings, how it looks like with the supports, whatever roof boards, W straps and different type of the supports. Now this is what just I wanted to carry to you. Now you should feel that you are there in which mind, my dear students? You are in which mind now? You are not sitting in your home, right? You may be physically sitting in your home, but now I am there in Vakilapalli mine, VKP mine, inside the development working, and started discussing with you under this. It may be around 300-meter, 200-meter depth cover, whatever. So I am there at 250-meter depth cover average I took, right? And along with you, where these workings are like this, development workings with the roof sandstone, and then now you can see how the workings appear. Close view, short view, long view, whatever you are there. So now taking you to these places, then now you can also see some of these instruments used, right? This is a telltale. So it is something like, as I am telling you tales. Tale is nothing but a story, right? And now you can see even a wooden prop, right? W strap with roof bolts, and this is a telltale, that is for the extensometer. And we have many types of extensometers. As I used to tell you, my beloved student, I used to keep all these which are useful for our students, of whether they are stator control technology or whether they belong to underground coal mining, which I am taking for this semester. This is also a telltale of a different auto warning telltale. This gives warning. When I hope, are you able to see this blinking? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Very nice.
Yes, sir.
So this is also called telltale, but this is auto warning telltale with a single anchor, right? And that can be installed anywhere in the development galleries or deep learning workings or long wall workings, whatever it is. And then simply it can be pushed inside like this, inside the hole, right? And then left it, then it will touch the sides of the hole. And from there we can measure what is the deformation that is taking place. This is what is called a part of the extensometers. And there are so many types, of course, although simply discuss, but in underground mining, how they are useful, all we will discuss. Okay, there's some close view of that, but my importance here for this class is you should know that how these development galleries look like, since we are discussing on the module 1 of underground coal mining MN 2102. As per our syllabus, the stratified deposits, how they are developed, and you are one semester ahead of initial introduction or development, what you read in the previous semester. So I am taking you directly into the mine, and then you should feel. Now you tell me, you are there at what depth? Anybody?
50 meter.
How much?
50 meter. Sir,
I told
50 meter.
Okay, 250 meters depth, you are there with me, and we will discuss about the development, how the stratified deposits are developed. And here are one of my MTech scholar, right, who was sent there for this investigation purpose, and you also can be there. And he's a very senior man, strata control engineer for Singareni. So our Sridhar is there, who was trained 15 years back by us to become a very good strata control engineer, right? So this is a width at different places. Already you have seen wooden props, this development workings with the sandstone roof and how it looks like, the roof supports, W strap. Now these type of workings, now this is at the junction with W straps, these type of working are, now you can see the chocks supports how these development workings are with steel frame, and then over that this wooden cogs. It is also called as a COG, cog, or a chock, CHOCK, and this is a wooden prop on the side. Otherwise it can be iron prop, it can be wooden prop. These are all the things just I wanted to show you, my beloved students of underground coal mining methods. Now you can see our MTech scholar is showing you the roof, how it is, right? He is very happy to see a good roof somewhere, and sometimes it may become very bad, and that may lead to some accidents if you are not designing properly. In fact, this investigation I was doing as a part of investigation for some type of accidents there, how this roof scaling with width of 4.1 meters was there with different type of supports. This is at 40 dip of 66 level junction, how it looks like with the instrument. You have seen already this wire and all I have shown you, my beloved students, and this much photographs must be sufficient for now. And now I am taking you back to our class materials instead of spending much time. Now you should feel that you are there. Now here width is 3.8 meters at 66 level of 39 dip. This is the face width, how much, whatever is being measured, right? 3.8 meters. And now these workings we are supposed to design. That is a important point for today's class. That is the reason why I took you to this much depth, my beloved students. So here now what we do is coming to our lecture here. Let me take you back. I think this is supposed to be stopped, otherwise it is becoming a big size. Yeah, right. Right. So this is visible now, our PPT with full screen. So
Yes, sir.
this, now I took you inside the mine. Now you are in the development working for discussion on module 1, development of stratified deposits, that we are discussing about it. And welcome back inside the underground coal mine. That is a VKP mine already. Whatever I was showing you, you must have had the feeling of inside that. And in the yesterday class, we were discussing up to this development of coal deposit. In between little bit, I will be discussing on what you covered before in the previous semester about the size of the mine or about the entries, and then because those are all preliminary or primary requirements to understand coal mining methods, and that were already covered in your previous semester. So I give very little importance to that. Of course, if you have any doubts, definitely we will be discussing. And when it comes to the development, in general, most conventional and most traditional method, which is followed throughout international scenario also, when you consider, is Boden pillar and Rumen pillar. Yesterday I asked you, that is a question for you after 30 minutes when you break there. What is the difference between a Boden pillar and the Rumen pillar? You should tell. Then now coming to this traditional method of developing the coal deposits or coal seams, which is a Boden pillar method, or in some other countries also it is called Rumen pillar, but there is some difference in that. There where this is applicable, because whenever there are some methods, this applicability and all these things also you should understand, because when our beloved students of underground coal mining methods MN2102 are given with some problems that this is the condition of the mine or this is a condition of the seam, And this is a condition of the roof or floor or whatever, the geomining conditions. When they are given to you, you should be in a position to decide that this method may be more suitable and that method may cause some type of problems. All those things you should ensure. Then this method, generally board and pillar, which was already taught to you in the previous semester, I reiterate once again, my beloved students. So this method is suitable for flat cold seams in general, right? Because when it is very much inclined, of course, there are some variants in the method, don't worry for that. But as far as a general application is concerned, this a flat means you know very well. So if this is a seam, right? So now this seam, when it is strike direction and dip direction, you know very well. Suppose it is gently dipping like this, right? This is your strike direction. That means with a horizontal plane, whatever is being cut, that direction is a strike direction. So suppose if it is a way east, you are on the east side, okay, east. Then this is a east to west. This direction is a strike direction. And then when it is dipping like this, then we say it is dipping towards, now you can say if it is east, then towards the north. And then that dipping maybe we say 1 in 10, 1 in 20, and even 1 in 1. 1 in 1 means what? This much in the horizontal 1 and vertical also 1. So that will become 45 degree. Ultimately, it is very simple to understand. So that also is generally expressed as horizontal is to vertical. That's a 1 in 1. That's a vertical is 1, horizontal 1. Suppose 1 in if it is 1 in 10, that means then 10 horizontal, 1 vertical. So this is the angle. Okay, this is a way how the dip is also mentioned as per the terminology. You should know, Arya used to ask about the terminology, right? So that is a terminology generally used. Otherwise, it can be expressed as not in 1 in 10 or 1 in 1. It can be expressed as a 45 degrees dipping towards if you are on the east side, because for me, you are all like sun, S-O-N and S-U-N, both sun daughters, both, right? So you are on the east, rising from the east. Now it is rising time, sun rising time. Still we are not getting धूप नहीं आया अभी तक, ठीक है, अभी आएगा. So this is the way how we express our seams or our deposit conditions, that this deposit, whatever is there with east facing like this, so it is east to west, that is a strike direction, right? And then dipping towards the north with it is like this, means 45 degree dipping 1 in 1. Okay, this is the way how we mention about it. So when it is very much steep, even the pillars whatever are formed, it is very difficult for us to even form it and work it, right? And even that stability is also at stake. So it more suitable means if it is a flat, now your pillar, now you can consider one of this as a, these are the pillars, right? 1 pillar, 2 pillar, 3 pillar, and in the dip direction, strike direction, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be more stable. It is very simple to understand, right? And one more thing is, these are all also guided by some stipulations, and that Indian mining regulations. We have coal mines regulation. That's the reason why, as I told you, my beloved students, now you are all sitting at around 250-meter depth in Vakilepalli mine. In the development workings, on the roof is sandstone supported with different type of supports. Already you have seen, and how the sites appear. You are sitting there and then trying to understand if some conditions are given, how to plan for how to design the working board and pillar working, how to develop the seam for that matter. So there are some regulations. So that's why, as a reverse engineering, I would like to bring to you first, before telling about that, how many of you know, my beloved students, about coal mines regulations? Have you heard about it? Yes, no? Anybody? Coal mines regulations. Because we are reading underground coal mining methods. So that's why we are also supposed to know, because this development of the stratified deposit or coal deposit is also governed by that regulation first, and then comes our design, our modeling, our scientific way of designing or planning for the mines. It will come next. First is the Indian mining law, or for that matter, in any country. How many of you know about coal mines regulations? Yes, no. If you have any problem in connectivity, don't worry. I'm going further, but you think about it because if already was told about something, because I don't expect you to know everything about the mining legislation, because that course is we planned for you in the final year. But some part of it we are supposed to know whenever we are reading about whether it is a mine ventilation. You should know if it is a coal mines, what is a regulation related to mine ventilation. If it is a coal mine, when we are discussing about the methods, you should know about what are the coal mines regulations related to mining methods. This is the way how I prefer, and my students over 15 years were very happy learning in that way, because first you should know what is a regulation. First time when we used to sing Janagana Mana or Vande Mataram, when we were there in the LKG or BKG, whatever, you may not be knowing about it, but later you will know in details about that. This is something like this. So this is the way how I generally prefer to tell you about that regulation also. There from reverse engineering, based on this statute, this Janagana Mana, this Vande Mataram, then going back into what is your role, what is the underground coal mining method, how it is to be designed, keeping in view of all that Indian mining law and the regulations like that for all the deposit site specific conditions, right? So in general, this is suitable for the flat seams up to an inclination of 5 degrees from horizontal, right? There may be so many books written by so many people. The names again I am reiterating many times, starting from Professor R.D. Singh Saab's book, Dr. T.N. Singh Saab's book, right? S.P. Mathur, Professor S.P. Mathur Saab's book, and all these stalwarts, based on their experiences, they have given a lot of practical input into that books. That is the reason why I am giving you, taking their names, so that you can also see whenever you are reading those books, Underground Winning of Coal, Modern Methods of Coal Mining Methods, I mean modern coal mining methods, or planning for the coal mines. So many books are there written by all these people, where I was also part of it while doing that. Okay, so here of average thickness, generally 1.8 meter to 3 meter line at moderate depth up to a depth of 450 meters. So there is a logic behind this. Generally in the board and pillar, when we are going with conventional, so there are some reasons. Now we should, since we are developing, already you have seen in the development working how the supports and all. In the beginning, long back, we are not even having roof bolts or any iron being used, only wooden supports. So you can imagine that more than 3 meter long, even wooden cock or wooden log, LOG log, right? It is very difficult to get with the adequate strength of that wooden log or stem, whatever, right? And in a conventional way, when it was thought, that is the reason why they mentioned about that. Otherwise, nowadays we are going even beyond 4 meter, 4.5, using your roof bolting, then cable bolting, then so many other type of flexible bolting and reinforcement methods. We are also using even glass fiber reinforced, right? So many types of supporting reinforcement techniques where we can do it in a better way. This may not be the restriction. So, but in conventional way, this is the way how generally, in general, people say that this is better to apply only in this condition. But nowadays we are improving further, right? And coming to the depth, that is about the thickness, I said, right? Then about the depth. So when depth is increasing, it is very simple to understand, my beloved students of underground coal mining methods. Already you are there now sitting along with me in underground mine, where supports of wooden chocks you have seen on iron frames, and also you have seen even a prop, wooden prop, even a roof bolts, even W straps and different crossbar, whatever, right? You have been seeing it. Okay, you are sitting there. Now, if that is 450 meter, 500, 600, then you can see adjacent, whatever is a pillar, right? That pillar has some size, okay? And then that will become very weak when you are going down and down at more depths. right? And since there are more number of pillars, it is very difficult for us to maintain. Okay, these are some of the simple reasons a layman also can understand. Then later, of course, we will go into the detailed design aspects in different subjects, also different courses. So this is in general just to understand that in very deep deposit conditions, it is very difficult for us to go with board and pillar method. That's what just I wanted to say. But at this point of time, let me also know in India, what is the maximum depth up to which we are working our coal deposits by underground mining? Anybody? Anybody say at how much depth we are working? Okay, let me continue with this. Otherwise, I may not be knowing whether you are able to hear my voice or not.
Sir, we can have our break now, sir.
The 500 meter.
Is it a break time? 30? Yes, you are very much right. Okay, before going further, we'll break here, right? But for that, a very simple thing here is because we should have something as a brainstorming, right? That is a difference between between room and pillar, that is versus board and pillar. Okay, you can think of and you can also say about that. And now we'll have a break. Now it is up to you. You can also ask any doubts and let me also take your attendance. That is also very important. Okay. Right. Any queries? This already I have shown you. Any doubts?
Sir,
Yes.
so this is Aryaman. Sir, I wanted to ask that in board and pillar mining,
Right.
we know that the seam has to be free from stones and dirt.
Right.
So if stone and dirt is present, then we dispose it using a process called strip packing.
Right.
So what exactly is strip packing?
Acha. So, any other doubts? Any other doubts? We'll take one by one. Right, let me take your attendance. Total, how many were there in your class? Now I am able to see about 51.
59, sir.
59. So there are 8 absent, right? Okay. This is a reason why I even in other classes also what they do is they are going for making this whatever the class is there, that video is already available in your this one, right? MS Team, and even I am uploading there. Okay, yes, no, right? And in that case, what you have to do is that can be made into a YouTube link so that those who are facing some problem in connectivity and all, even if you are keeping that in our WhatsApp group, simple, that students they can open and see anywhere. So that is a logic, and that has been done in other classes, whatever I am taking over this period. I mean COVID-19 and Omicron periods. So that responsibility is taken by our CR1, 2, and of course all others, because Saswata, any problem in doing that? Devi?
No, no problem.
No, sir.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Really fine.
So that's why I have given you one example of strata control technology lecture 1, it seems. Have you noticed in the group also I kept it?
Yes, sir.
Their CR prepared that. Subhangi madam. I mean your senior. ठीक है. So in that way it can be done. Now coming to the doubts, as our who asked that doubts? Any other doubt? पहले कभी कौन पूछा था?
Sir, Aryaman.
Aryaman, right. So whatever our Arya is asking, I appreciate him. Then when it comes to the methods of extraction, right? So when he says, और एक बार पूछिए, so that all others also should know about it. Arya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, in the board and pillar mining, the seam has to be free from stone or dirts. So if stone or dirt is present, it is removed using a process called strip packing, which is used in longwall mining and the same. So what exactly is strip packing?
So generally, any packing for that matter is right when you are generally even in the metal mines also, when there is anything which is a waste rock, right? So that waste rock cannot be taken to the surface. Very simple to understand by any layman, right? So whatever that waste rock, it can be a shell, it can be sandy shell, whatever, which is not considered as a coal, and that need not be taken to the surface. Then that material now we can use even for packing or giving some type of support, right? So it is a very simple way in that way. Okay. And when it comes to the different methods, then definitely we'll be discussing in more details. Okay, right? And
yes,
any other doubts, or shall we continue? Now, who can say about this difference between room and pillar versus board and pillar? Or you can think about it, then I will continue further. Okay, I'm continuing further. Yes, making it full screen. This is what I told you, my beloved students, about reverse engineering, right? Regarding this mine development, there are some regulation and stipulations as per our Indian mining law. And there, the 1957, now I hope you are able to see this. In exercise of the powers conferred by Section 57 of said Act and in supervision, I mean in suppression of the Coal Mines Regulation 1957, the central government hereby makes the regulation now which is called as a Coal Mines Regulation 2017. That's what I wanted to bring to you first, so that you should know in fact how this mining started and so many things. Of course, here itself, let me tell you, my beloved student, you have to note down this because this is very important aspects as far as coal mining is concerned. And this was released, I mean this was came in the Gazette of India, right, on 27th November 2017. These things you should know. Okay, where our coal mine, yes. Any problem? Any doubt?
Sir, you are not sharing any screen, sir.
Yes, sir. Your screen not visible, sir.
Oh, right. Oh, that screen sharing I have to do. Right, very good. So now let me know whether you are able to see. Yes. Now you are able to see. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Screen is visible. Okay. Right. I am making it full screen. So these are because whatever coal mining that we are doing is governed by this regulation. So that you should know in the beginning. Now you are sitting in underground mine, right, at 250-meter depth. Then you should know how it was designed. So what are the parameters taken into consideration? What was done for giving this type of shape to the regulation or underground mining methods, coal mining methods, I mean. Okay. So this is that you should know about it. Coal Mines Regulations 2017, this is called, right? In that there are so many aspects, but in fact that also comes under the Section 57 of Mines Act 1952, that is 35 of 1952. This much I wish every coal mining engineer should know about it. Okay, so you note down these points, that much is sufficient for us, right? And then coming further, there there are so many chapters given in that. Okay, so where it is very clearly written, the short title, commencement, application. Here itself we can see, my beloved students of coal mining methods, right? MN 2102. You can see so many things, including the terminology, what are being followed, even the sign, SIGN, signs or index used even to represent on a plan, how to write, everything is given in that. So these things I wish our students, especially coal mining method students, should know by the end of this semester. I don't want you to know everything about the regulation, but related to mining methods, we should know about it. Okay, this regulation, that is the reason why it may be called Coal Mines Regulations 2017. It is a repealed version of 1957 Coal Mines Regulations. So they shall come into force on the date of their publication. That is the reason why I have given the date of also, that is 27th November 2017. From there, so they are supposed to be applied in all the mines in India. So all coal mines methods, coal mining methods, what we follow, right? So they shall apply to every coal mine. They shall extend to the whole of India, right? And here coming to our this module, whatever I was trying to tell you, and where I have taken you, my beloved students, into that underground mine of southern India, where you are there now sitting with me at 250-meter depth in a development panel, right? And the dimensions of that, whatever you are sitting on both sides, this is a pillar sides. On the back, this is a gallery. Okay, so you are sitting in that. Then the dimensions of these pillars and galleries, whatever are there, and the shape of the pillars, whatever the shape. I told you rhombus shape, rectangular, square. Okay, they are formed in any seam or section. Already I have shown you even the sections also, right? And shall be such as to ensure stability during the formation and also during the extraction of the pillars, and also during the period between such formation and extraction. So this gives you, this is a terminology used in the regulation, legislation and Indian mining law, and you must know when it is passed through the parliament, it has undergone through so many modifications, even in the terminology, even in the word by word, when we are using a comma, full stop here, and whatever, semicolon and small letter, capital letter, whatever, right? Everything was undergone. It has undergone, right? So many changes over period of 1-2 years or a couple of years, when they publish in the Gazette of India the draft, and later that is taken to the parliament and passed. Okay, so you should know about some of these issues, and you should learn about how to write, about the terminology. That's what I wish I have been telling you from my first class in this spring 2022 to our beloved students of underground coal mining methods. And this, there are some, I am giving you one by one step. But that means about the dimensions of the pillars, how much size it should be, whether it is a 20 meter by 20 meter, 30 meter size, 50 meter size. At this instance also, let me tell you, my beloved students, that whenever we are designing even the pillar, right? If it is a development of a stratified deposit, means you are supposed to even design what should be the size and so many things. So first that comes to our mind is, what is the regulation that is saying, right? Because based on that regulation, right, suppose it says 20 meter, 40 meter, 50 meter size of the pillar, in that conditions, then you may do some more scientific investigations. And if you have some other modifications in the design itself, I mean in the application of different technologies, even the mechanization, most sophisticated mechanization, which was not used before, maybe a long wall, maybe a continuous miner, maybe using something else, I mean manless mining, sending inside the robots for working for you. So many things you can do that. Okay, there is no binding on you, and our DGMS also can give you the special permission to implement those things on experimental basis. So these are these are some of the regulations that our students of underground coal mining method should know. That is the latest version of coal mines regulations 2017, and there some more details we will be discussing. And that clause 1 of the regulation 111, this is a regulation number 111. I think this is very good, right? That is like a Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, right? So this 111 regulation says about the development work in coal mines regulation 2017, and this is very much required, and every student should understand. And if you have any doubts, of course we will discuss. And the clause 2, in that it says that say with the previous permission in writing of the regional inspector. Don't worry, the terminology here of regional inspector and chief inspector, but it is chief inspector is nothing but the director general of mine safety, and otherwise it was a chief inspectorate of mines which was renamed maybe around 30 years back, 35 years back when we were there, as a Directorate General of Mine Safety. That is the reason why that previous terminology is already kept same, and then that terminology now you should take it as a Director of Mine Safety in the concerned regions. This is a regional inspector means, and under them there are Deputy Directors of Mine Safety also, and that is subject to such conditions as he may specify therein. No gallery in a seam or section shall exceed 3 meters in height or 4.8 meters in width at any place. So now, my beloved students of underground coal mining methods, now any size of the gallery in our board and pillar method or room and pillar method, whatever we call in India. Otherwise, there is a basic difference. That was a question asked to you as brainstorming or continuous evaluation of our online teaching learning process. There we will discuss, or if you have any doubt, I will also explain further. Otherwise, any working should not have more than 4.8 meters. That you can see, height should not be more than 3 meters, and then width should not be more than 4.8 meters. So there is a logic. Already I explained to you, my beloved students of underground coal mining, where because of the conventional system of using wooden supports 3 meters, because it is very, very difficult to get any logs, wooden logs, more than this 3 meter, that log size, because it is a natural tree. So that trunk and the size at the stem and the other, when the length is more, that capacity or the strength of that log will decrease. These are some of the reasons. And when the width is more, obviously, unless we have any special arrangement for reinforcement, like our white stall mining and other methods, some of the names I may be taking in between, you try to note down those things so that in future we will be discussing more and more, right? When we are going for the non-effective width of the methods of mining, NEW, new method. NEW means non-effective width of extraction methods, unless we are going for that with some specific reason and with some specific purpose. Otherwise, this development width should not be more than 4.8 meters. That is the reason. And number 3, when it comes to the pillars formed in any seam or section shall normally be in the rectangular in shape. So why we are going for other shape than this rhombus shape and other things, that also you can think of, and I will explain further and here. And to continue further, the next, because first I will cover this what is there as per the coal mines regulation in designing our method or development work. Then I will explain something more, and of course we will interact with your doubts and other things with so many examples. I will be showing you different mines plans and their workings, conditions, everything, development, everything. Right. Now, number 4 clause there, it says that the distance between the centers of any 2 adjacent pillars left in a seam or a section. The seam or a section, why it is mentioned many times as a seam or a section is that seam may be 3 meter, maybe 2 meter, maybe 10 meter, maybe 20 meter, maybe 30 meter, right? Whatever. That's why that seam may be extracted in different sections, 2 sections, 3 sections, 4 sections, so many things. That is the reason why in the regulation or in wherever you are designing the methods, you will be specifying that. That is the reason why this word is used as a terminology here in the regulations also, right? Then when these pillars, when it can be, suppose if it is only 3 meter thick seam or 2.5 meter thick seam, then there is only one section that you are working. When it is increasing beyond 10 meter or 12 meter or 8 meter, then you may be having 2-3 sections, section of 3 meter, in between maybe 4 meters parting or whatever it is, right? So this shall not be less than that specified in the table. Of course, that table I will show. And before that also, let me know, my beloved students, are you aware of this point in the previous semester when you discussed about any development in the mines, coal mine, metal mine, whatever it is? You know about this size of the pillar, what should be there as per Indian mining law or the statute? Yes, no? Anybody can respond. Otherwise, I may think that my voice is not audible to you or you are not available to me. You are there inside underground mine with me, but you are sleeping. Okay, don't worry, there may be some connectivity problem with you. Right. So as corresponding to that table I will show, corresponding to the depth of the seam, because that size of the pillar, as I told you, my beloved students, that depends on the depth. When the depth is more, suppose this is a surface, my seam is here 100 meter, 200 meter, maybe 500 meter. And here itself you note down, please note down. So the maximum depth, of course, that also you should respond to me. What is the maximum, that things, then I will explain to you. What is the maximum depth up to which we work in India and in the world, our coal seams? Okay, that you should be ready to tell me. Then we will discuss. Okay, so otherwise, when it is at 100 meter, at 300 meter, obviously the size should be more when the depth is more, because it should take more load. Very simple to understand. Okay, so in that way it was framed, that regulations or guidelines are framed based on some experiences, and later it was evaluated scientifically also, and all those things were done that I will explain you. Corresponding to the depth of the seam or a section from the surface at that point, and the width of the galleries in the working in question. So width of the galleries already you have seen. That is the reason why in the beginning I have taken you inside a mine where now you should tell me what is the minimum and maximum width of the gallery. Whatever we have seen, what is the minimum and maximum? You can tell your name and tell. Otherwise, don't worry. You have seen that. Otherwise,
Sir, I am
yes.
Amitanandan Oja.
Amita, right? Yeah.
Sir, in your photo, that maximum was 4.1 meter and width was 3 point something, sir. 3.1.
3.9 was also there. I hope 4.3 also is there. Some things it seems. Okay, it's all right, Amita. I appreciate you. So now other point, whatever is mentioned there is the chief inspector. Now chief inspector here, you note down somewhere. Nowadays there is no chief inspector. Now it is a DGMS, Directorate General of Mine Safety, or Director General of Mine Safety. Now Mr. Prabhat Kumar, your super senior of 1986 batch from NIT Rourkela is DGMS now. And when he took over, he was there with us here at NIT, and you should feel proud for that. Okay. Now, Chief Inspector may, by an order in writing and subject to such conditions as he may specify therein, exempt a mine or part thereof to form pillars in variance to that specified in sub-regulations 3 and 4. You must have understood the reason why it is given. That also I will explain to you. Right. You just imagine you are working, you are developing a deposit, and that development is through a shaft or through an incline. Okay. And when you are having a shaft, now you may also have to connect the both sides of the shaft with some type of opening. Right. When somebody says my pillar size should not be less than 20 meter, 30 meter, 40 meter, then how you can have, otherwise you have to go from 40 meter from the shaft and then take a turn and another 40 80 meter and then come back to other side of a shaft. If the shaft is here, this is a deposit, right? The shaft is here, and as per regulation, when you are giving the stratified deposit to be developed, right, then 40 meter size of the pillar, for example, or 50 meter size, then 50 meter size. Now my person on the this side of the shaft and that side of the shaft, suppose this is a shaft, you are able to see, it seems, okay, shaft, I turned it like this, okay, shaft. Now if this is a pillar of this size, now from the shaft my person should go here and even come back here and so many things. Otherwise what we do is we will make a bypass, right? But that is not as per the regulation. So that is the reason. Like that, there may be so many. One simple example who a simple man, layman can understand, I have given you. So he can exempt from that. That is the meaning how it is given. That's why I told you, my beloved students of underground coal mining methods, that each and every sentence has a meaning and that has gone through so many procedures, right? So now I will say only for 2-3 minutes and leave it to you. Now it is 55. So in this way, nothing in this sub-regulation shall apply to workings in a mine made before 7th September 1926, and the following provisions shall apply to all workings made prior to said date, except during the extraction or reduction of the pillars. That is, if the distance between the center of adjacent pillar is smaller than that specified in the table, that table I will show in the sub-regulation, right? The pillars shall not be further reduced. Already they formed, but it was not as per that, it should not be reduced further. That is the meaning, very simple. And if the distance between the centers of adjacent pillar is not smaller than that specified in the table under sub-regulation, that it should not be smaller, right? That is the meaning of it, right? In that way, the pillar shall not be so reduced as to render such distance smaller than the distance specified. Any distance required in this BIAL by the Chief Inspector, already I told you, this is DGMS, Director General of Mine Safety. At present, Mr. Prabhat from our NIT Rourkela is the DGMS of 1986 batch. I mean, you are super senior. The height and width of the gallery shall not be further increased without the permission in writing of Regional Inspector, means he is a DMS, Director of Mine Safety, who sits in Bhubaneswar for this region, and subject to such condition as he may specify therein, right? So before going further, I am showing you only this for today's class. This is a table that we follow while development of our coal seams, right? These details, of course, we will be learning in the next class. And here I am breaking here for your doubts. Now it is 8:57. I think I can take 1 more minute, and 1 minute for your doubt and 1 minute for your summary of this class. And later we can close with greetings of Sankranti, because I think from tomorrow there may be holidays because of COVID-19 situation. Now we have plus 150 cases, I think more than that, in NIT Rourkela. So be careful. Of course, you are not here. Okay. So up to this, just I want to share this photograph. Already I have shown you this mine. I hope this is a mine around 3-4 kilometer along strike and 2-3 kilometer along the deep, and these are the pillars formed, and these pillars are as per that regulation. This is the way how you are supposed to divide the mine and into the panels. You can see the panel and the panel size, pillar size, how it should be divided. All those things we will discuss further, right? In the close view of that is here, right? These are the pillars, barrier pillars, right? How this size should be selected, all those things we discuss. This is a depillaring with BG, with some of the bore hole sections, right? And details of panels, of course, not required now. Now here I am showing you one more, my beloved student. Yes, this is another mine where this is a total mine, how it was divided, you see, right? So here, yes, now this is a direction, north direction, this is a dip, right? So dip, now you can see 1 in something or whatever the angle, and this is a GDK incline. Of course, this was closed recently, and this is a mine where you can see the development, how it was developed. Now you see in between they have two inclines, then the main galleries they have taken here, and on both sides levels, and then these are the pillars and developed, and then they made into panels, and now you can see based on their boundary in the green color, this is a boundary and other structures, right? And how it was divided into main galleries. From the main galleries, trunk roadways made, and then this is the development from the whole to part or part to whole, inseam development, and then horizon development. These are all the terminologies that now I am stopping at this stage. Now it is exactly 8:58. Now, my beloved students, any doubts you ask me? Once again, let me take attendance here once more. Yes. Any doubts? I am downloading attendance. You know, from tomorrow it is holidays. Yes, no. At least
Yes,
इसका तो respond करना चाहिए.
yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So now, before I say Sankranti advance wishes, who is going to summarize? Anybody interested to summarize or any doubts?
Yes, sir. I want to summarize.
आपका नाम बोलना चाहिए ना. आप
आयुष
शाहरुख
मेहर.
खान है या संजय
Yes,
खान है,
Ayush.
हमको पता होना चाहिए. हाँ.
Ayush Meher.
आयुष, yes. Continue.
Sir, first we go to virtually the Singardi Coalfield Limited and enter the coal mines, underground coal mines through the shaft, and we see the development work at the 39 to 40D and 65 to 60L,
Excellent.
and
Nice.
at a different position we see the different type of support like wooden lock support and iron support, roof bolting and different thing, and some area we saw also fault and roof bolting like and different type of development work. And then we go to the deep that you say in the term of horizontal is to vertical, like 1 is to 1, 1 is to 10. Then you define that. Then you say that about the strike direction, that each direction is is like that. You say from your reference each direction is the strike direction and deep direction along that coal seam and the column. Then you say the update the rule, updated rule version 2017 version, updated version of coal mining regulation, and generally you said that point about coal mine regulation, that and I precisely want to say say that the this height of the pillar should be rectangular, generally rectangular, but in case of any drastic condition you may change to any shape like rhomboidal or any other shape. Then you say that the gallery size should be 3 meter height and 4.5 meter width at maximum, and that you say that about pillar distance it should be less than standard table given distance, then we should not be extracted, and if greater than that it should be extracted. That's all, sir.
4.5, that is 4.8 meters. So nicely said by our Ayush. So I also asked few queries as a continuous evaluation process. Difference between room and pillar versus board and pillar. Anybody want to say something about it? And what is the maximum depth of underground coal mine in India and in the world? And in the world, at least before we leave this class, before Sankranti, you should know about this. Right. Okay, it's all right. The difference between these two, right? Room and pillar and board and pillar is, in general, this room and pillar, that terminology is used by our Americans and other people. We are not using that. There, that rooms are, even as a method of mining, they use it, and rooms are more wider. Even pillars may be smaller in that way as a final operation. That is a basic difference. And then coming to the maximum depth of workings, whatever we were talking about, that is whatever this question said about it. So here our major point is, in India, We went up to maximum of around 600 meter. We are planning for even 700, 800 also, right? And in the world, when we see people are going up to 1.1 kilometers, right? That is there in Utah mines in US, and in China also. That name may be Jinping Kang, whatever the Jinping, right? Okay, so that means in the world we are already extracting up to about 1.1 kilometers, maybe 1.2, right? Whatever. But there, now you know very well what type of method might have been used there. Is it a Boden pillar or something else? Any idea? Is it a Boden pillar or something else, some other method? These were the questions, and I hope you got the answer, right? So with this, I think now we can close for today with best wishes once again for a happy, healthy Sankranti, and take care of your parents, right? And take care of this COVID and Omicron. अच्छा, वो पहले बोल दिया जय हिंद, कौन बोला है जी? ठीक है, जय हिंद, जय भारत. Now I am closing for today. Okay, right, and take care, and I hope you must have got the circular about our this one mine, I mean not mine, our institute. From tomorrow these are holidays, it seems, for 3-4 days. Have you received that?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, and try to keep that in our group also, so that everybody will know. Because our students may be busy in reading so many books, so they may forget that there is a holiday. Okay, right. All the best. Take care, my beloved students of underground coal mining methods. Now you can come out of underground mine. Okay, already there you are at 250 meter depth. Now you come out of it, and you may be having other classes. All the best once again. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Now I am stopping recording. Right. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat once.